you. You know why he's not pursuing you? Because you're not that girl. He's just not into you. Another reason why a man is not pursuing you, he got somebody. He probably met you and thought you was an easy lay, and he's just not into you. Maybe he slept with you already, or he already did, or he didn't sleep with you, but it's not worth the risk. He is in a relationship, so you're not worth the risk. You're not worth losing his family. That's why he's not pursuing you. You're not that girl.
Dating a guy, and he flew out another girl to stay with him while I was out of town. So let's set the scene. I meet this guy on Hinge. This was a couple years ago, and we'd been dating for about a month, and I had plans to go out of the country for about a week and a half, which he had known about since we first met. And about a week before I'm supposed to leave, he says, hey, there's something I want to talk to you about. I had told this girl who I know, who is from another state, we met, through mutual friends and stayed in touch, that she could come stay with me for a few days. Those dates coincided with when I was out of town. So he says, I had told this girl she could fly out and come stay with me, and if it makes you uncomfortable, I will cancel the trip and tell her not to come. So he was putting it on me to cancel this girl's flights. And I was like, absolutely not. I'm not making that decision for you. So I said, we're not exclusive. We've only known each other for a month. I want you to do what you would do in this situation. If based on your own ethics and your own moral compass, you feel like it's not appropriate to fly out a girl from another state and have her stay with you while the girl you're dating that you really like is out of town, don't do it. If you feel like it is appropriate, then you should do it. And I will react to whatever decision you make in the way that I feel is appropriate. Now, you might be saying you're playing games, you're testing him, but the reality of it is none of that is true. I want to know the morals, the ethics, the behavior of the person I'm dating without me having to dictate that for them. So if you're the kind of person who wants to fly out a girl from another state and have her stay with you while the girl you like is out of town, maybe we're not compatible, but I don't want to have to tell you not to do that. Not my responsibility. So I said a nicer version of that, and he never brought it up again, and I went out of town, so I assumed that this girl just didn't come. And for a bunch of different reasons, I end up coming back for my trip like 2 or 3 days early. And the morning I get back, he says, hey, when you get back from the airport, let's go get breakfast. And I say, sure, I'm not doing anything. So we meet up for breakfast, and as we're leaving, I think I asked, like, hey, what happened with that girl? Like, how did you cancel her trip? Because he hadn't said anything about it, so I was assuming that she didn't come. And he said, oh, I didn't. She ended up coming and staying with me. And I said, oh, when did she leave? And he says, she hasn't left. I'm going back to my house right now to drop her off at the airport. So he left this girl who flew out to stay with him to have breakfast with me and then told me about it. And then when I said, are you out of your mind? He said, I thought you would be flattered that I left her to hang out with you.
Hello YouTube, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. So men have stopped pursuing women, men have stopped approaching women in public, and in today's episode we have women complaining about this. I am going to dive into these videos one by one, and I want us to start with this very woman. We have this woman talking about how men used to chase or pursue women in her mother's days. Now, this woman is refusing to accept the fact that her mother's days are different from these days. Women in these days are refusing to stay in their feminine energy. Women in these days are likely to shame you on social media once you start pursuing or chasing them, especially if you don't meet up to their expectations or you're not their type or whatever. Women in telling men to stay away from women and all that. This is just one of many reasons why men in these days don't chase women anymore. Now, I think I kind of agree with this woman because sometimes men only want to pass time with you. They know whom they see their future with, they know whom they want to marry. So if they make a move to you and you're trying to prove stubborn or hard, they just move on because there is no way he's about to waste time on someone he just wants to have fun with. Now, this is my little opinion on why men are not approaching women in person. I feel like social media has a role to play here. Lots of women are available to men on lots of social media platforms. So men are not even ready to risk approaching you in public because there is a high chance that you are going to snub him or embarrass him. He would rather do it in your DMs. And even with the DMs, some women screenshot the rejection and post it on their story so that everyone will know that she has rejected a guy. That is how crazy this generation has become. and now somehow we want to blame men for this. That is crazy. Let me know your opinions in the comment section. This is where I am ending today's episode. If you want your comments to be featured in my next video, then make sure you leave your opinions here. And if you are new here, please make sure you subscribe. If you're a regular viewer, I love you so much. And I hope to see you in my next video. Please stay safe out there. I love you all. Bye.